Why does it seem that everybody's quitting YouTube, travel YouTube, van life YouTube at the moment? Well, we think we know why, and it's something that's actually also affecting us, and that's why we're making this video. We were randomly listening to a podcast one day where Mr. Beast was a guest, and he unintentionally shared a truth that sent us down a rabbit hole that has led us to leaving our Southern Europe adventure trip early to go back to the UK. It's the hard truth that most YouTubers don't talk about, and it's potentially the reason why they quit this dream lifestyle. And that is that potentially that this lifestyle isn't healthy. So going back to Mr. Beast, he was asked, you're in great shape at the moment. You've been going to the gym, we hear, all that sort of stuff. And he said, yes, I was in great shape. I was going to the gym. I was in a really good place because he's got a number of ailments that affect his life. And he said, but it's all gone down the pan recently in the last few months because I'm back into doing full-time travel for YouTube again.
It's been brutal. It's gone to shit the last couple of months. Bro, if you don't travel constantly, life is so easy when you just wake up in your own bed and like waking up in your own bed and working 15 hours in, you know, your office or whatever. So easy.
It was from there that we noticed other YouTubers, sort of you yourself might have noticed as well, either YouTubers, whether they've got a huge channel with millions of subscribers, or if they've got smaller channels, they sort of come on and they announce that they're quitting YouTube or drastically changing it, or they stop posting, you never hear from them again.
Yet another YouTube star looks set to quit the platform. In recent weeks, the YouTube platform has lost a wealth of talent, with names such as Matt Pat, Captain Sparkles, and Stampy Longhead all quitting for various reasons.
So ultimately, this lifestyle, whether you're a travel YouTuber or a van life YouTuber, doesn't coexist very well with well-being. That's what we found anyway. And it's potentially the reason why all of these YouTubers are quitting. We're trying very, very hard for it not to happen to us as well. To give you some context, we've been doing full-time travel YouTube now for 4.5, 5 years. Most of that time, we've been in a van. And if you follow the channel, you know that the majority of that time, or at least a few years of it, has been a big challenge for us. We've had lots of hurdles and roller coasters, and it's been in the name of engines blowing up, and being in dark places at dark times. And one bit of feedback that we always get about our channel is that people appreciate us sharing the ups and the downs and the rough and the smooth and the ebbs and the flows, and just letting you know where our heads and hearts are at this moment. And that's what this video is about. So despite all the troubles we've had with van life over the last few years, in January just gone, we came coinciding with coming back from an Arctic adventure. We got this van behind us, and everything as far as camper vans changed. It's the best van we've ever owned, and we've headed to Greece, and it's the first time ever that we've never had to worry about anything going wrong with the van, and it's been brilliant. That freedom has given us, for the first time ever, time to reflect on everything that we've been doing and where our lives are at and what's been going on. But it turned out that even with the crystal clear waters of Greece and the chilled out locals, that this lifestyle potentially isn't as healthy as one might think. It's definitely adventurous though, and that was the thing that hooked us in. We love adventure. We often throw ourselves into strange environments, strange cultures, meaning that we don't know anything about them, and we often, including this very day, don't know where we're going to be sleeping tonight. But this type of adventure, mixed with filming and editing YouTube, mixed with mine and my wife's hyper energetic personalities, which we've come to discover that we've got, has a detrimental effect, it would appear, on our physical and mental health. We know this as well because we've actually traveled more off YouTube than on YouTube. So before we started YouTube, we'd done more traveling, full-time traveling, than we had done sort of since joining YouTube. So we can see the difference in our lives, and we do spend a lot of time observing what's going on and chatting about how we're feeling and stuff, which is very important. It is absolutely roasting out there. We've been so fortunate to be able to experience some of the British heat waves. One of the unfortunate things about it though is dehydration. We gave up soft drinks a long time ago when we found out how unhealthy they were, the main culprits. And ever since then, we've been trying to find something that tastes good, that's healthy, that means we can stay hydrated, especially with Janine. who's not so keen on the taste of water. And then recently, thankfully, we've managed to finally get to try Holy drinks, which are awesome, and they haven't disappointed. If you don't know what they are, I've got them in front of me here. They are like a healthier alternative to soft drinks. They come in like 3 forms, basically. You've got iced tea, although you can probably put ice with all of them, energy drinks, and hydration. And they are like the soft drinks, but without all of the crap in them. So you've got like your iced teas have vitamin C and fiber in. Your energy drinks have like no taurine, no sugar, no artificial colours or flavours like some of the bad boys do, and they're just full of vitamins as well. So you get the energy, but without the crash. So you're just drinking good stuff. But what we've got in front of us here are all the hydration ones, which is what we're super interested in, obviously, because that's our main situation. I've been drinking today the white peach one, but all of the flavours that we've tried are great. There's guava, strawberry and kiwi, and another one I can't remember. There's loads of flavours, but this white peach one is insane. The biggest surprise has been the flavour. The flavours are fantastic, but if you're not sure about what flavour you like, they come in so many different sorts. Definitely get the starter deluxe pack so you can just try them all out for yourself and decide which ones you like. And they contain vitamins and coconut water and electrolytes, everything we need. But the main thing is the taste is really, really good. So please, if you're going to try Holy drinks out, which we recommend you do, take advantage of our discount code. You can use THD5 and get £5 off your first order, or just THD to get 10% off. And they're in the pinned comment down below and in the link in the description. Thank you to Holy for your drinks, and thank you for partnering with us on this video. So what are the negative side effects that we felt about this lifestyle? And what I mean by that is travel plus YouTube, doing both those things, and we'll share with them with you and being transparent as we've always been. The first one is definitely weight gain, not in any order by the way these, but just what comes to mind is weight gain, and that is a result of lack of routine. And what I mean by that is we've been putting on weight for 2 reasons. One is the lack of exercise, which is really frustrating because we've got enough, both me and Janine have enough energy to exercise every day, all day. I've always been like that. But not having the opportunity to do it makes it very difficult. And what that means, you're probably thinking, well, surely van life equals exercise. Well, probably does and can be for a lot of people, but van life and YouTube don't necessarily. We live a life with being on the go all the time and filming lots of different places, and our rate of travel is quite fast, and we have slowed it down quite a bit recently actually, but we do like to see lots of different places and what have you. So the first negative side effect of this lifestyle, and what I mean by that is the travel YouTube, van life YouTube lifestyle with the YouTube element especially, is the lack of routine. It has for us unfortunately equaled weight gain, and weight isn't as much of a problem as the fat we are carrying. Both Janine and myself, despite what we look like, or you might think we look like overweight or whatever, but whatever you think, we're not happy ourselves with how much weight we carry and how much fat's on our body. It's a result of the adventures that we've gone on for YouTube, unfortunately, and it's what basically ultimately lack of routine. I've put on the most amount of weight from doing the Arctic adventure that we did over the winter. So many issues with that we had every intention of doing exercise and all the rest of it, and unfortunately so many things went wrong that we were just constantly driving and eating convenience food. That ultimately is what happens with van life when you're doing it for YouTube. You're traveling to lots of new places all the time and you lose routine. We were just in Greece, and we are wild campers, so we spend usually we're doing van life and wild camping. Most people, as a rule of thumb, to keep within restrictions and what have you, is to spend just one night in each place, so you go to a different place each time. And unfortunately with that, you've got to set up a new routine everywhere you go, and if you're in strange countries, different countries, and not in your usual places, then that means it's quite difficult. Give me 2 days in any one place and I'll find a walking track. I will establish how I can do a workout, and we will find ingredients for making healthy food. But it's not like that, we found. It's very, very much on the go. For instance, in Greece, the best we had it was we had 2 or 3 nights in a campsite, and we were outside working out every day. So we were getting ourselves into a good place. You start, fat burning doesn't happen straight away. It takes a bit of momentum before you do it. And then you move on to the next place. And the next place, Google tells you it takes 3 hours to get there. But it actually takes you all day to get there. And then maybe something happens where it takes the whole next day to get there as well. Sometimes we're traveling every day, driving every day long distance, and if you've done this sort of traveling before, it saps the energy out of you mentally, which affects you doing it physically. And by the time you arrive, I still try to do it, but it's very, very difficult to. And the worst part about it is that you end up eating fatty foods, convenience foods, and all the rest of it. On that note, Janine and I are whole food, plant-based people. That's our lifestyle, vegan lifestyle. And that's our favorite food as well. That's what we want to be cooking all the time. But once again, it's very, very difficult to do that. And sometimes even with your best intentions, it doesn't happen. And we take full responsibility for that with this lifestyle. But yeah, also on that note as well, if you're a wild camper, free camping, it's not like you can get all your gear out, your yoga mats and all that sort of stuff, your kettlebells, and which we carry kettlebells, by the way, when you're doing wild camping, because really the rule of thumb as well is not just move on every day, it's don't get your camping gear out, and that probably includes your working out gear as well. Can be tricky. The other thing I would say as well, so that's weight gain mixed with lack of routine because of not being able to exercise when you want and not being able to eat the foods that you want all the time and eating convenience food through traveling and spending a lot of time driving. The next one is the editing of YouTube videos. For Janine is the editor. She could spend 12 hours editing straight to get it done on time for a deadline, and then up into the early hours in the morning, and then wake up the next day and we start filming again. And then people say in comments, Janine looks really tired, is she okay? She doesn't look very well. And we just think, well, yeah, we agree. She is tired because she was up all night editing. And that's also an element that makes this lifestyle, YouTube being a major factor of it, obviously, that makes it quite unsustainable. And on the subject of Janine, she doesn't mind me talking about this. She has, as everyone who follows this channel probably knows, an underlying anxiety issue. And it's not brought on by van life or travel. In fact, quite the opposite. The first time we noticed it as a couple, a married couple, we're renting a flat in the Midlands, and that's when we first noticed it. And actual fact, traveling seems to help a bit, and van life seems to help a bit. I guess the freedom aspect of it helps. That's one of the major draws for us about van life. It's amazing. And travel is the freedom element. It still hasn't gone away, and unfortunately it rears its ugly head even more in the winter time, in the coldness of winter, in a physical formation. It expresses itself physically, and it's horrible seeing it year in, year out. It happens almost like clockwork. It's a major concern for both of us. It's something that I sort of hoped would dissipate over time during this lifestyle of freedom, but it hasn't. And I'm not blaming van life for that, because it was there before travel and van life and stuff, and travel and van life has helped. On that note, Janine wants me to let you know that YouTube actually helps with anxiety. For anyone who suffers with anxiety, you probably already know this. So we've heard from professionals that creativity and anxiety can't exist in the same place, as in, like, if you're being creative, then you're not going to be anxious. So Janine uses creativity, especially since realizing that, to combat the anxiety, and it flipping works. And YouTube is the best for that, because there's always something creative to do. And another great bit of feedback that we always get from our videos is that is the creativity element of it all. Like, no video is ever the same as the next one, and a lot of that's down to Janine. She loves it. She's a very creative person, and it is therapy for anxiety. It really is. So quitting YouTube in some respects as a remedy for anxiety doesn't work. On the note of anxiety, Janine's anxiety did actually wane when we went to India, and we checked ourselves into a yoga ashram, which is where you go to practice yoga in its traditional sense, which includes a certain diet. You wake up at 4:30 in the morning, you do yoga for 8 to 10 hours a day, and meditation and chanting. And that was the best that I've ever seen Janine, with her parasympathetic nervous system kicking in and working really well. She could relax, she wasn't getting anxious, she was chilled, she was positive, and all those sorts of things. So that was very, very interesting to see that. And unfortunately, I mean, that was the best we've ever been leaving the ashram. Over a year it slipped again, and we sort of noticed that. So there might be people watching this thinking, oh, I've got solutions to that, you know, slow down your flipping travel. We've tried slowing down the travel. Once again, our personality types, everybody's different. Our personality types sort of struggle with slowing down. Maybe it is the answer to it all. And maybe that is the ultimate remedy to it all. Who knows? But batch cooking food so that you're eating healthy food whilst traveling, that could be a good way of doing it. We're not those sorts of people. Our personalities aren't very good with those sorts of things. Although we could really try, it probably wouldn't be as sustainable or practical for us to do as much as I'd like to. And you might think, you know, just pull up somewhere, stop doing YouTube and pull up somewhere and just work on yourselves for a bit and what have you. But we love doing the YouTube, as I've mentioned to you before about the anxiety with Janine. It has a definite purpose, even without everything else that YouTube brings to our lives, and which we're very grateful for. It is the best job we've ever had. It really is. Hardest job we've ever had, but best job. So what's going to happen next? Well, first of all, just want to say, anyone who has quit YouTube or has taken a break, we hope you're doing well. We've got friends who are YouTubers, and I think the majority of them at one point in time have said they're going to quit. It's quite a common thing to hear, believe it or not. And if that's what you've got to do to keep yourself healthy and your well-being intact, then 100% do it. We're fully behind you on that. It's one size doesn't fit all, and as we said, we're a certain personality type, and you know, everybody's different. And I think some of the people have actually quit YouTube have actually gone on to have really nice lives and stuff, and it's just an experience and that sort of thing. So for us, we're going to change things up a bit because we want to continue doing YouTube, and that means restructuring everything that we're doing. Now we know we've got the right van and everything like that, and it still wasn't working. We know we've got to shake things up even more. Whatever happens, well-being should be the number one priority for everybody, I think anyway. And we've always put well-being at number 2. And it would be nice for it to be at number 1, and for it to run alongside travel and adventures and all the rest of it. And that's the ultimate goal. But who knows? We see a lot of people buying land or getting a base somewhere, and I can see so many benefits to that and getting roots to it all. We've spoken about it as well. We've not ruled it out. We've got to experiment. Life's an experiment. We've got to experiment a little bit more with things. One thing's for sure anyway, thank you for listening to this video, by the way. I just wanted to be transparent of where Janine and myself are at. And one thing's for sure is that we are going to have a breaker, not a break, but a breaker in what we've been doing. Accept that, say goodbye to it, and bring it on hopefully a new life for us. And that breaker has to be quite drastic and extreme. So that's what we're going to be doing next, and it co-aligns with my 40th birthday, which is coming up imminently, and I hope that we can film that and show you it, and the next time we see you, we will be able to explain that, and then from that point onwards we'll be able to know more about what's going to happen next. Sounds very cryptic, I don't mean it to be. You'll see in the next video. And thank you for watching this video. Thank you for listening to me talk for such a long time. I'm sorry that it just had to be said, so you know where we're at. And thank you to everyone who subscribes and when seeing these things and follows and comments and puts a thumbs up. It really means the world to us. And we look forward to seeing you next time and going on this new adventure together. See you next time. Call us crazy, but things are finally right. With you and I, the future is bright.